I guess all the crazies that threw tantrums over Gamergate are regretting it now. Gamergate is literally back to haunt them again. Also, Epstein didn't kill himself.
You know, we had black pillars for years claim that Gamergate had failed. Some still do. I think the fact that they're still terrified of this, I mentioned something in my video, I forget exactly what the words were, but it was something to the effect of, look, Gamergate was the leftist Vietnam. It's why they can't help but constantly reference it. Because it's the first time after years and years of just this careful incrementalist strategy of introducing something aberrant, introducing something vaguely communistic, and then the blowback would start, right? We used to have very organized parent groups, religious groups, groups like Focus on the Family, who would boycott these organizations. One of the examples that I always use from Roseanne. Love Roseanne Barr, but her show was propaganda, straight up, and it used a propaganda tactic. Sandra Bernhardt's character on Roseanne was one of the first, lesbian characters on a sitcom. When she was revealed to be lesbian, there was a huge blowback. Organizations like Focus on the Family boycotted the advertisers. It was very well organized. And they cucked. They cucked out. They backed off. They took the character off the show for a little while. After it died down, they reintroduced the character. And sitcom companies, television companies kept doing this with different social issues, political causes, whatever, one thing at a time until, you start out with Sandra Bernhardt barely being on the show at all, and she winds up being a major character. And then, of course, within a few years, you have Friends, which has the lesbian romance introduced in the very first episode. You have Spin City, which has a major character who's on the show in every single episode who's gay. That was a big deal. And by the time you get to 2000, 2001, you got Will and Grace, which is the whole premise of the show is gay. Queer Eye for the Straight Guy. And incrementalism. People need to stop calling it a slippery slope, because slippery slope, that's not intentional. The mountain doesn't intend to slip you. This is incrementalism. This is a deliberate tactic that they do again and again. Whenever there's outrage, they kind of go underground for a little bit, then they pop back up. Gamergate was one of the first times, after a long time of receiving really little to no resistance, that suddenly everybody whirled around and went, "What are you doing? Stop." And they started naming the people who were pushing it. And that's honestly why they're still traumatized. So never let people tell you Gamergate failed. It went underground, and the proof is in the pudding. They went from overtly pushing the message in video game journalism and in games themselves to consulting, working behind the scenes. They went underground, and they're still traumatized from it. Gamergate was extremely successful.